Hello and welcome to another edition of Pulp Picks. My name is Patrick.
I'm Fritz.
And we're here to give you this week's reading recommendations on New Comic Book Day. It's an all DC week for a couple of reasons. So we had a bit of an issue with the distributor that does Marvel, IDW, Dark Horse, and a couple other miscellaneous ones last week. And due to the holiday and some other factors, that's also delayed this week's books by about a day and a half for us receiving them. So we're expecting them to show up tomorrow or Friday. Probably available for Friday. So if you've got a pull and hold, your stuff will be pulled for you. If you shop the wall, we're also planning on keeping that stuff up for next Tuesday so that you get the opportunity to be able to shop it new. But it was a small week anyway due to Thanksgiving. So however, usually at the end of the month, DC goes a little thin, and usually at the holidays they kind of go thin, but luckily, DC cranked out a bunch of stuff this week.
Yeah. Oh, should I go then?
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's hear what you got.
Returning champion, Detective Comics, 1078. We're kind of now like smack in the middle of the current Outlaw arc. It's Catwoman she's got her team together. They're trying to save Batman from being hanged. I almost said Aquaman because they've got an ad for the movie on the back. But yeah, you're kind of like the last two issues have been kind of getting all the players on the board to try and figure out like, okay, how do we do this? They've got some real weird bedfellows here because you got Cheshire Cats helping out. You've got Batgirl and Mr. Freeze have to team up. One of them's having a lot more fun than the other, I'll tell you that much. Yeah. But yeah, there's a certain someone in here, I don't want to spoil it. They make a really great entrance. Anytime they show up, I love them. But yeah, like basically everything's starting to move now. You think for a second like, oh, they might like have this all under control. And then you get to the end and just like, maybe not. They may have misread the situation a little. Yeah. Yeah. I actually really, even like going off the like upcoming solicits, I'm not sure like where things are going from here because there's another like X factor that pops up in this issue that they have to like not give any hint to having shown up yet. And it's just like, oh, you're here now. That's going to be fun. But no, everything about this arc and just MV's run on the title in general has been like stellar. There's another fun backup story in here focusing on if you've been reading the Catwoman comic, there's kind of like the other Catwoman running around Ico. Yep. And she gets to have some fun stuff. She gets to crash some cars, take on.
Awesome.
Yeah. Like it. And who the artist on there, I'm blanking on their name. I gotta look it up here quick. Yeah, Casper Windgard. They probably the most recent thing they did. A lot of people are probably familiar with their work from Homesick Pilots from a couple of years back. Yeah. They did the recent All Against All at I think it was Image, where it's basically their art is just phenomenal, and I can only hope because they've done a couple of the backup stories in here now that they get more work just anywhere. Anytime they show up now, it's just like, ooh, gotta check them out.
So it feels to me like this is a renaissance of comic book artists right now. It is. There are so many great artists on books of all varying styles. I'm blown away by how many new artists I'm seeing on books, or artists that, you know, are shifting from one title to the next and coming across something that I'm reading now, so I'm getting familiar with them. It's bonkers. And if I can I segue into mine?
Absolutely.
Because, so in...
Sean Isaac, I believe is...
Yeah. Oh, Isaac. Yeah, that makes sense. Or Isaacs? Yeah. Isaacs. Green Arrow, number 6 is my pick. And I know that we picked number 1.
But there's been at least one issue of Green Arrow on here before.
So the gist of this story is that Ollie has been bouncing around in time and has no idea why, right? And recently we learned that somebody implanted a device in its head. Amanda Waller's tied in, and there's a future version of Ollie who's kind of a jerk.
More than the normal version.
Yeah, more than the normal version. The art in this is amazing. It is so good, and the storytelling is just great. So this is Joshua Williamson, has been writing a ton of stuff, and just has the feel for a superhero who doesn't have great impulse control. Holly's trying his best, but he's just really not well suited to figure out what the heck is going on. So luckily he's got some other people that are out there also looking for him. And it moves along. We find out who's behind all of it in this issue. So this is kind of the end of that initial arc. It sets up what the next arc is going to be. This is extended into the larger Green Arrow family. So we're getting the bones here of the direction as a whole that this entire Williamson run is going to go in, and it's very family oriented, which is kind of a theme with DC right now. You've got the Flash family, the Super family, the Bat family, the Green Arrow family, and I'm just so pleased that they are spending a lot more time on a wider variety of characters. It's been a while since Green Arrow's had.
Because when they put out the cover for issue 1, and it's kind of like everyone who's ever been kind of like part of the Green Arrow family, and there's characters on there. I don't know. Has Mia Deirdre actually shown up any time since before the New 52?
Yeah, I think we were talking about that.
Yeah,
when the other issue came out.
There's
I couldn't think of it.
Yeah, there's people that have not been around for a decade plus, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it's, we've got Roy and we've got Black Canary and whatever, but it's really good. I'm really enjoying this. It's a fun read. And, I definitely like comics that kind of run you through the ringer, and I also enjoy comics that are very cerebral, but this one's fun. And if you're looking for just kind of a fun, get to know the characters, enjoy the ride kind of read, this is great. And it's beautiful on top of it. All right.
Speaking of beautiful, it's a running theme here.
Oh my gosh.
So, I don't know, is this a cheat? Because we technically already picked this. So it's the Wonder Woman Outlaw Edition. This is just kind of collecting the first 2 issues of the current run so far, because they've been kind of selling out everywhere. So this way, if you haven't been able to get a chance to read them yet, you got both right here in one fun little package for you.
I cannot overstate how pleased I am with this book. I was excited to have Wonder Woman have kind of a relaunch. I'd fallen off the title prior to, I read the vast majority of it, and it was good. There were a number of writers who had been on it and whatever, and it was good. This is great. There's no other way to put it. So my good friend Ryan last week picked up volume 3 issue number 3 on Tuesday. And usually he doesn't buy any of his DC stuff. He waits until Wednesday when everything else releases and picks it all at once. And he texted me after he got home and said, the reason that I picked up DC today was exclusively to read Wonder Woman number 3, and it did not disappoint. So if you have missed the opportunity to pick up 1 and 2, this is the 2 of them combined, and it is such amazing storytelling and it seems like Wonder Woman has been around long enough that, and she's such an iconic character that, writers should just get her just inherently. Tom King makes a number of the previous writers on Wonder Woman books look like they just didn't know what they were doing. It's like watching a pro, go up against amateurs. It's so good. You want to just kind of give the setup for the book, I guess? Since this is number 1 and 2?
Yeah, so if you haven't caught, when we've talked about this series before, basically what's happened is there's been this kind of massacre out in the Midwest. All signs point to it being Amazon related, so the US is basically just we can't have them running around, so they're kind of just starting to get them all out of there. They're just kind of coming after anyone they think is Amazon related.
Yeah, forced deportation.
Yeah, and, people are dying for it, and so Wonder Woman obviously is just no, and decides to basically just take on the entire U.S. military about it.
Yeah, well, and she's kind of going against Themyscira and their approach to everything, and the U.S. government and their approach to everything, because she feels like there's something underneath all of this that's at play that nobody's looking for, and she's right.
Yeah, because like as you kind of start to find out, there's like this whole like other underlying like I wouldn't necessarily call it like a conspiracy, but like there's like powers at play that like
power structure.
Yeah, like none of the other players really seem to like know or understand, and it definitely feels like sooner or later they are, and that's probably not going to be great for them.
Yeah, it's got this fantastic combination of being kind of a espionage thriller while having lots of action, and there's so many moving parts. But Diana seems to be kind of the only one who's seeing the bigger picture here, and she's not going to let anybody get in her way of figuring out exactly what's happening. It's so good. She's taking such a strong stand from issue number 1, and it's very dynamic storytelling, and the art on this is so good.
Because like it's been speaking of things that haven't been around forever, I can't remember the last time that like her using her tiara as a weapon has been like such like a like reoccurring thing.
Yeah,
and just you get a bit more of it in like issue 3, but like she'll just like throw it on, and she basically treats it like Captain America's shield.
Yes,
and like it weirdly works somehow.
Yeah, it does, and just her whole, I don't know, it's something about the way that she's portrayed in this is just so dynamic. It's just excellent. So yeah, this is another opportunity for you to pick up issue number 1 and 2 and be able to get caught up on this series, because issue number 3 just came out last week. Yep, and was one of our picks. So yeah, this is a great opportunity for that. Well, be sure to stop in at the store and tell us what you're enjoying. Browse the wall. Again, if you had Marvel books that you were looking for, they're not going to show up in your cart. We will get those in. If you've got a pull and hold, we'll set them aside. And then if you're not able to make it in later this week or in the weekend, we'll have them available for you next Wednesday as well. And follow, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff, and have a great week.
Oh, also it's his birthday, so happy birthday.
I thought we were going to get by without it. Oh, although the important thing is that our Black Friday sale is extended. So we're going to keep running that while supplies last, basically. So we have a huge selection of dollar comic books that are now at 50 cents. We've got a great selection of 50-cent books that are now a quarter. Yep. I mean, it's like time traveling, You're time traveling with Ollie here.
Relive your childhood.
Yeah, basically. And speaking of time travel, so even if you've been into the sale in the last couple of weeks and picked up dollar books, there is a ton of new inventory. Rob got out well over 1,000 books yesterday. Easy. There's so much good stuff. Yeah, we've got the repack toys, the comics. We've got a bunch of graphic novels. That are at 50% off. Yeah, that's kind of our normal selection. We've got a bunch of role-playing game items at 25% off. And then the regular back issues are 10% off, including wall books. So there's a ton of stuff to see. So get on down to the store. Be sure to follow, subscribe. Oh yeah, and happy belated birthday to you, Fritz.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're playing this game now.
I can see it was karma. We got another opportunity to come back.
You see, that was what I was afraid you were going to do, and I accepted my fate.
Yeah, well, there you go. So, all right. Well, thank you for joining us, and we will be back next week. Have a great day.
Hooray!